By a show of fingers, who thinks America is not ready for a female president who happens to be half African American and half Asian American? Who thinks America is not ready for a president with that background? None of you. Okay. By a show of fingers, who thinks the presidency has always been a man's job and should always be a man's job? Any of you feel that way? None of you. Cindy's going to put on screen a photo of the last three Democratic nominees for president. And what you'll see, President Biden, Hillary Clinton, former President Obama. What I want to know is, which of these three people do you think Harris is most similar to? And you can hold on a second. You can define similar any way you'd like. But don't shout it out. Just want to quick. Everybody have one in mind? Which of the three is she most similar to? So, show of fingers. Who would say that she's most similar to Joe Biden? Maddie would. Who would say she's most similar to Hillary Clinton? Kevin and Joshua. Who would say she's most similar to Barack Obama? Denise would. Okay, Cindy, you can take it off the screen. Okay. So why is she similar to Biden?
She's been under him for the past 4 years. Yeah, I'm sorry to say this, guys, and I know it might be offensive, but right now she's at that stance where it's all yes, the master. Oh, what do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? What do you want me to say? The puppet. So who better to be her master than her old employer?
Okay. Two of you said she's most similar to Hillary Clinton. Why is she? What ways is she similar to Hillary Clinton? Denise?
I said she was more similar to Barack Obama.
Sorry, my apologies. I'll get to you in a second. Joshua, how is she most similar to Hillary Clinton?
The way she's kind of gone up through her political life is similar. Hillary Clinton, very much a person who knows how to work the Democratic Party system. It kind of feels like she knows the right people in that system to talk to sort of gain power. And the way she's kind of running their campaign now, but especially in the past, very similar to Hillary Clinton, where she only panders to her base. It's very much a social media, the media really likes her, mainstream or otherwise. The same sort of talking points where, in an election is not just like the New York Times guy who lives in Brooklyn. It's the 50-year-old Michigan guy who has a high school degree she has to pander to. So, I'm hoping we'll see what happens. She still has time to kind of not pander, but like talk to policies and issues to that sense. But for now, it kind of seems like she's more base-like. And I understand it's the primary just happened, but she's got time to sort of show her other thing if she has it. I don't know.
Okay, but hold on a second, Joshua. She didn't run in the primary. So why?
Well, I'm saying in her past election primary, like the primaries before she was in 2020 was between like Biden and the rest of the gang. She ran her campaign when it was Warren, Biden, Sanders, very much like a Hillary Clinton, like very much panders to her base, pro social media, lots of media exposés that she's this, that, and so other, which Hillary very much did, and not so much kind of more centrist policies or showed her foibles as a prosecutor, et cetera, like people outside of the Democratic Party base. I don't think she really pandered them in the past, and she's been vice president, and we'll see what her campaign is like in the future.
Okay. Kevin, why is she most similar to Clinton?
I agree with Joshua. How am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yeah, Joshua.
Okay. Because it's I remember 2016 when I think it was Trump and Hillary were running against each other, right? And it was the same type of speeches. So it's just like using identity politics, like being Black and a woman, kind of for Harris is kind of gathering all her support through those two identity politics or identifiers. Hillary Clinton did the same thing during that time, saying that she was going to be the first woman to run for president.
Okay. So Kevin, you're getting the sense that Harris is leaning into the I'm a female, I'm a woman of color, that's a big thing that she's actively trying to convey to voters.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Denise, why is she similar to Obama?
I think because, I mean, I know she's been vice president, but we didn't know a whole lot about Obama when he was running. And now we don't know a whole lot about her. That's the only similarity that I can think of with them.
Okay. All right. By a show of fingers, who thinks America is not ready for a female president who happens to be part African American and part Asian American? None. Cecilia, you think America's not ready for that? Okay. And by a show of fingers, who thinks the presidency has always been a man's job and should remain a man's job? Anybody feel that way? Okay, none of you. So Cindy's going to put on screen a photo of the last 3 Democratic nominees for president: President Biden, Hillary Clinton, and Barack Obama. I'd like to know which of these 3 people you think Vice President Harris is most similar to. And you can define similar in any way you want. And don't blurt it. I'm going to call on each of you. All right? Actually, I'm going to ask you where you land. Just stop and think about it for a second. Which of these 3 people is Kamala Harris most similar to? Everybody have one in mind? You do? Okay, great. Show of fingers. Who says that she's most similar to Joe Biden? 4 of you. Everybody but Cecilia, okay? Cecilia, which is she most similar to?
Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton, okay. Why is she most similar to Hillary Clinton?
Well, other than the obvious, as far as being a woman, I would have to say it's also in regards to things that both of them have done as it relates to, how can I put, well, I'm just going to be blunt, as it relates to criminal side in regards to activity and decisions that they made that I think is criminal.
Activities that they've done that are criminal?
Well, in regards to like I said, Kamala Harris in California, what she did as Attorney General that I don't agree with. Hillary Clinton in regards to what occurred with the military that I didn't agree with. That came up that what she did. So
Military meaning what? Benghazi?
Correct.
Okay. Great. For the other 4 of you, why is she most similar to Biden? Gloria, why is she most similar to Biden for you?
Again, I don't really know where she stands. I feel like she's just a replica, the shadow of Biden.
Yvonne, why did you say Biden?
I almost can't separate her from Biden. I mean, in terms of policy, she just goes along wishy-washy, doesn't take a stand or takes a stand and then changes, her stance. So she's no Hillary. Hillary's a very smart statesperson.
Okay. Victor, why is she most similar to Biden?
I think they have the same personality and same easygoing. I don't think she's like Hillary. And I don't think any woman is a Hillary. She's bad news. I'm sorry.
Okay, and Andreas, why is Harris most similar to Biden?
I feel like Biden is the epitome of milk toast Democratic center rightness. And I just don't see Kamala Harris straying too far from that. It's not so much about Biden and Harris being indistinguishable from each other, just that they are both kind of very run-of-the-mill Democratic, policy types.
Okay. So Andreas, let me push back with you on a little bit on you've a couple of times referred to Harris as being center right. And some would argue that the positions she took when she ran for president in 2020 were very liberal, having to do with Medicare, having to do with the border, and that she's actually walked back some of those now. Why don't you see her as being super liberal?
All you have to do is look at politics from outside the US to kind of have a sense for the spectrum of left and right politics. And the Democrats at large, and Kamala Harris being among them, just don't get anywhere near the kind of liberal, society building that you see in Europe, for instance. I think, Medicare for all is like, to give an example, is the most tepid, watered down approach to the idea of universal health care you could possibly imagine. And in most other countries, with a Gini index in, the top 50 would laugh at it.
Okay. So you're not putting her in the same category as like Bernie Sanders, for example?
No.
Okay.